guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share another beauty PSA with you today, and this is just a quick tip on an easy way to contour using one brush. A lot of people that I talk to are curious about contouring and aren't sure where to start, and I definitely think that if you have the right brush, it makes it a really simple process. So let's take a look at one easy way to contour using a single brush. I'm going to use today my Dulce contouring palette. This is a beautiful palette. It actually shows you on the back. There's like ways that you can contour. I love it when there's a guide like that, especially if you're not super into makeup but you're interested in trying contour. It can be kind of intimidating. So this is a great one. But there are also contour kits from e.l.f, which is super affordable, but also brands like Wet n Wild. This compact is the Dulce de Leche, and it also has a little bit of a guide on how to do the contour, and it has a ton of product inside for a really excellent price. So if you're not sure if contouring is going to be for you, maybe check out a palette like this, which is around $4 I think, and obviously if it doesn't end up being your cup of tea, not a huge loss. But I'm going to go ahead and use my Dulce palette because it has in it bronzer, contour, highlight, and blush. The brush that I'm using is really the significant part of this PSA because this is a super affordable brush. This is an e.l.f. brush, and it's their angled blush brush, and it's a typical angled blush brush. You could use this one, you could use one from Eco Tools, from Real Techniques, from whatever brush that you have. A lot of you probably already have a brush like this, and it gets overlooked for brushes that are specifically meant for contouring, but it absolutely does the job, and I think it does the job really well. So I'm going to start with contour, and the trick for me with contour is I'm going to use the sides of the angled brush. So as I'm contouring this side of my face, I'm going to be using this side of the brush, and as I contour this side of my face, I'm going to be using this edge of the brush. So in this palette, I could use any one of these bronzy shades for the contour, but they tend to say to use a cooler toned or more neutral toned type contour shade. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this one, and I'm just going to tap the very edge of the brush into it, and I'm going to press the edge only where I want my contour. And so that's basically from the top of my ear down to where my eye ends. So just making kind of a soft line right here. What I like about this brush is that it's fluffy enough that it does the blending as you apply it. So you're not going to end up with this harsh line on your face, but you can see a little bit of shadow appearing here where you don't see it at all here. And then I'm going to take the other side of the brush and just tap the very edge in. Again, I'm going to kind of stamp it at first and then just go ahead and blend in that same spot. You don't want to bring it too far in because you don't want to create the shadow in a place that would look like 5 o'clock shadow. You don't want to look like you have a beard, right? So we're just going to keep it up to this point and basically stop before the apples of our cheeks. Okay, so if I wanted to deepen this up even more, I could apply more product and I could build it up. It's always easier to build things up than to take it away. I'm going to use a deeper shade just to add a little bit more so that you can really see it in terms of, knowing what I'm doing on camera here. So I went into the deeper bronze shade, and I'm going to go ahead again and stamp and blend. So now you can probably see that even better. Same thing, just the edge of the brush, and I'm going to stamp and blend. And I'm blending upward rather than pulling down because I want there to be a bit of a line right here, soft, subtle, but a bit of a line to create the effect of those high cheekbones. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in with blush, and this is going to further blend out the contour, and it's going to add a little bit of color to the face. So I'm going to go in with this sort of medium pink toned blush, and I'm applying it directly on the face of the brush. So rather than using the edges like I did with contour, I'm applying it right on top. Tap off the extra. I'm going to stamp it on just back from the very apples of the cheeks. I don't want to get too close to the center of my face. And then I'm going to sweep it back. And it's going to blend the pinky shade in with the contour shade and create a nice color effect. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight. There are brushes for this. You can buy special fan brushes for highlighting. You can buy, there's just all kinds of different brushes out there. And I'm a fan of brushes, but if you really want to get the job done with one brush, you can. So now I'm going to take the fluffiest part of this brush, which is just the very tip of the brush. And I'm going to dip that shade into my highlight shade. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that on top of the blush, so it's kind of like a sandwich where you have the lightest shade, the blush shade, and the contour. And that's just going to give me a little bit of lift on the tops of my cheeks and a little bit of shimmer so that my face doesn't look flat. You can also highlight the tip of the nose. You can contour down the sides of your neck. You can take a smaller brush and contour down the sides of your nose. You can hit the forehead. I've got some bangs going on right now, so I'm not going to do that. But basically, that is all it takes to contour. It just adds a little bit of definition to your face. And I think this is a really easy, everyday way to look at it, especially if you're not trying to look like hyper glam at your day job, right? Okay, one last thing that I really wanted to mention was you can also get an eye look out of your contour palette. So if you're thinking, I don't need this full palette for my face, I barely wear any makeup, think about other ways that you can use it. Today, I used this palette as well on my eyes. And all I did was use my fingertip to take the highlight shade and I blended it across my entire lid. And then I took a fluffy blending brush. This is the It Cosmetics for Ulta Airbrush Blending Crease Brush. And I took that into first this shade, the contour shade, and I blended that back and forth like windshield wiper motions throughout my crease, so that indentation right between my brow bone and my lid. And then I also took the deepest shade and I concentrated that even more on the outer part of the crease here and blended it in back and forth. So I created a really soft, natural eye look that just gives my eyes a little bit of definition. Threw on some liner, some mascara, and I'm good to go. Anyway, guys, I hope this kind of basics of contouring was helpful. And I hope you enjoyed the PSA announcement that you can essentially contour your whole face with one brush. Check out an angled blush brush, and it's really all that you'll need. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate that you decided to spend part of your day with me, and I really hope that you're having a fabulous day. I hope that you will thumbs up this video and that you will subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you next time. Bye.